Welcome to the Launchpad, guys. Here to talk
Thank
about
you.
Pitch-A-Tent 2021. And I'm here with Ashely, Jay, and Andrew. And they
What's
are
up?
the three musketeers, if you will, of Pitch-A-Tent. So, I want to just kind of start off and, learn a little bit more about each one of you, your roles. And, I'd love to, kind of hear first, just like, where did you guys all meet?
It's a good question. You want to take that one, Ash?
Okay, well, Andrew and I go back to some crazy desert party in like February of 2007. So we've been, best friends ever since. Crazy, crazy stories. And I think I met Jay in like 2012 through friends. And, it's been a great time. We're great partners together and couldn't ask for a better team to work with. So.
Okay. Yeah, me and Andrew were friends separately, and then I met Ashely sometime after that, and yeah, we were all just kind of just a solid tripod.
I love that. Yeah, I use the term like the three musketeers there. You guys are really the ones that are driving home every aspect. Like, I know I've been talking to you guys a little bit on and off here, and just hearing like the craziness of the planning, everything like that. How is it going so far? Like, let's talk about like what's the most exciting thing this year. Obviously, we were shut down, we missed a whole year of it. It's been almost 2 years since the last one. What's been like the most exciting part for you guys?
I think just getting back to it. We had, this will be over 2 years now that we haven't had this event, and it's really awesome to see all the community kind of fuel us to get going, because as you guys know, we had like a short amount of time to plan this party, as you kind of mentioned, and we were kind of hesitant about doing it this year and stuff just because of that, but the community really showed their face, and we're just like, we really need this, we really want this, and so we were just very, very motivated and kept this going, and yeah, so it really worked out well so far. It's definitely been quite the amount of work to do, but definitely it's now that we're getting closer to it, it's starting to get really, really rewarding, and we're really excited about it.
Nice. I love that. Tell me a little bit about your backgrounds. Just like, how did each one of you individually get started in the scene? Ashely, if you want to start with that one.
Okay, I got in the scene of like 2000, late 2006. My first party was the Ice House, very long time ago. 19 years old, just warehouse parties, desert parties, really in there for the music, the local DJs, and just making friends in the scene. Just love it. I love the environment. I love the energy, the people. And when, growing in the scene, Andrew was always a DJ. And so I always got to be, DJ's best friend, hanging out. And then when Jay and I got together, I got to really see how behind the scenes works and fall in love with it even more, and to help create an event that people get to enjoy and talk about the future it's just such a blessing, and really it's an honor to be able to be part of something so fun.
Awesome. Andrew, were you the first DJ of the group?
No, I would say there's definitely people in my circle of friends that would put me to shame on the scratching and cutting on the vinyl. But, I've been doing it for a minute. I guess I fell in love with electronic music when I was in high school living in Spain. I had no exposure to electronic music at all before going to Spain, and over there they just really got down. The clubs weren't even open until like 2 in the morning or something. It was just bananas at 17 years old running around clubs, and came back and was just like, yeah, I want to do that. That's awesome. I started messing around with records, and started playing in like 2007, and kind of bumped into my inner circle, I guess, when I started moving into club work after all the crazy desert party days that me and Ashely went through, and bumped into Jay, started working with him in some of the premier clubs, and just kind of grew from there. Right around the same time, I had my first Pitch-A-Tent, and that probably would have been like year 3, I think. Yeah, around year 3.
That's about right.
Yeah. Just kind of like meshed together. We both had big groups of friends that kind of had the same vision, and forces combined, and boom, here we are.
Awesome. And Jay, what about you? How'd you get your start?
Oh man, so I started DJing like when I was like 16. Got into it from a friend, just really fell in love with it, and this is what I wanted. I knew that's what I wanted to do with my life. When I was even younger than that, I've always been in like building and stuff like that, Legos, blocks, Tinker Toys, all this stuff. I wanted to be an architect, so sometime after becoming a DJ, like started getting more into the planning portion of it and designing, and that kind of led me into like somewhat my second passion, which is like designing stages and managing events and building events and festivals and stuff. I'm really into that. I really like to blow people's minds with whatever we're putting on stage, and just take it to the next level of like what people didn't expect. And so yeah, that really got me into it. And then from there, kind of got linked up with Real Beats, worked with them as a executive production manager for 10 years. Sometime during that, we started Pitch-A-Tent, and the rest is history on Pitch-A-Tent, so to speak. And then started to elevate, and we're just chugging along, so just kept going.
Cool. I love it. So, and correct me if my numbers are wrong here, but the first 5 years of Pitch-A-Tent was just for like your group of friends.
Yeah, well, actually, it lasted probably a little bit longer than that. Actually, this will be our first public year, really. So up until like last year, or I'm sorry, 2019, we were basically like all trying to just kind of more of a community party where friends of friends can invite each other, but we really wanted to keep that family vibe, and it's really created something amazing out there, as you've seen, and kind of seen some of your writings on. And yeah, we just really wanted to keep that feeling alive as we start growing and growing.
Yeah, I love that. And, like you were saying, I wrote a little bit about this, but I am naturally just not a camper.
Yeah.
And when I went, I think it was 2018. I know we had a little team there that showed up, and I was so underprepared. It was my buddy Payam, I think you guys know, and we trucked in, we stopped on the way, we grabbed some snacks, and we're like, all right, yeah, we'll be good. And then we get there, and everybody's got this, eccentric, camping setup. People have got the whole, the tents and the mattresses and everything, and they really they eat like the bug spray and all that. And I show up in like a hoodie and jeans. I'm like, shit. I think we're a little bit underprepared, and I think I slept that first night in a truck bed, and then the second night, slept, and then that second night, somewhere in a hammock. But it was such a unique experience for me. I, had done a little bit of camping when I was younger, but it was always, what people would consider glamping. It was always in, like a trailer. And so it was interesting for me to get out there, but it was so much fun, because you're with your friends, and it's really that experience, just with everybody there, that I think, really makes it, what it is. And kind of to your sentiment there of how you really wanted to keep it that small knit group, and then that kind of evolved into friends being able to invite close friends, and I think that you guys have done such an incredible job of building that Pitch-A-Tent family. And now this is year 11.
Yeah, we're in our 12th year, so obviously
Okay.
COVID year,
Yeah.
But we still, if you remember, we still did our, like, technically we've been talking about, we've literally been doing 12 years, because we had the virtual festival last year, when we did at the Gestalt Theory studio and stuff. So that was fun. But yeah.
Where did the idea come from for Pitch-A-Tent? So you guys all met, while back, but how did that kind of spark, and how did that start?
That's Jay's baby for sure.
Yeah, it really just started with a group of friends, probably like 15, that were just like, let's go to the woods this weekend, or next weekend, or whatever it was, however long away it was that we discussed it. And we're like, all right, well, let's, if we're gonna do that, let's bring some music, and just really like one speaker and a small DJ booth. And from there, we just like fell in love with the nature, and then playing music in it, like out there, just something super unique about it that we all experienced. Like, and so from there, just that on that first one, we're just like, well, what if we just kept doing this? What if we just made it something big? And through the years, people have kind of fallen off and kind of lived their, like, kind of gone a different path and stuff like that. But I always kind of stuck with like our initial goal of just kind of making something bigger, and something that like a lot more people can experience. And yeah, here we are today. So
Yeah, obviously you guys have, such a love for obviously the music, and art and creating, and just really that passion, and it shines through in everything that you guys are doing. And you've done, an incredible job of creating such an intimate experience for the people that are there. Andrew, tell me, a little bit about, what you're doing behind the scenes.
This year for me, it's been really about the activity and the wellness. We came off a really rough 2020 year. A lot of panic, a lot of freaky stuff happening, a lot of mental stress. A lot of people aren't themselves. I really dove headfirst into trying to find the most interactive year we could have in the activity area. This year we got a lot of arts and crafts, everything from like interpretive dance with poi and flow, up to really eccentric forms of yoga, meditation, sound healing. Just really get into the workshop area and help people decompress and let go of some of the stress. And I think one of my favorites is our good friend Dr. Jess is coming up to do a whole workshop on mental health and holistic medicine. And I just think that kind of stuff's really important right now for people to remember they can get out of the turmoil of the world and come express themselves and interact with people in a different way, and kind of leave that turmoil behind and reconnect.
Yeah, I love that. Ashely, maybe this is a question for you, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, do you handle the vendors and kind of like those little experiences that happen throughout the festival?
It's a group effort for sure. It's a
Okay.
whole team. But yeah, like usually the boys they have a big, strong lead on the music and their production and things like that. So yeah, the vendors and the art and stuff like that falls on, it's a group thing, but definitely I'm more the lead on that.
Cool.
So,
What are some of the things that you're most excited for this year? Maybe some of the new things as well that people can expect.
I'm very excited about the workshops that we have. Andrew mentioned our good friend Dr. Jess will be there, so she has some things she's talking about, related to the past year and all the natural health remedies that we can pursue. So that's good. A healthy lifestyle and being natural. I think that's big. We have the yoga is always my favorite. We're bringing back the glow yoga, so that's a good time.
Love
I know
that.
we're doing wire wrapping. That'll be fun. And then my favorite always stands out to a lot of people is our comedy show on Sunday. Our comedians are the best, and they hang out with us all weekend. And so the jokes on Sunday are very authentic and organic, and just they're about what happens at the party. And it's a great time.
Awesome. This year, really, I know Jay, I think you mentioned that it's been a little bit, the timetable was a lot more crunched. But it seems to me anyway, from an outside perspective, that this year has really been a huge leap in growth with, the entire festival in all aspects. I'm curious, because of COVID, and I know that, this is more last minute, being put together, but because of COVID, did that give you guys more time to really think about what you wanted to do next, and what you wanted to really come and hit hard with now that we're back?
Yeah, so we definitely were, through the entire time of COVID, we're like kind of building hope and ideas of what we wanted to do for the future of Pitch-A-Tent and whenever it came back. And so we definitely had a lot of time to like think about it that way. Where it ended up kind of in like the growth and everything like that, I really got to hand it to and give that credit to our team. All Elwer, Jur, so many people on our team has really just stepped up and just completely knocked out of the park for us. Like I could not be, I'm getting chills right now just talking about it, but like our team is just amazing. Like I've dreamed of working with like friends and a team like this for my whole life and in my career. And like, we're seeing amazing things from so many people. I know I'm missing a ton of people's names, and apologies for that, but yeah, our team is so stellar right now. So like I said, I want to give a big thanks and a big appreciation to them and credit. So.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. Those guys and the rest of the team are, absolutely incredible, and you've got some really good humans, behind what you're trying to do and build there. Pitch-A-Tent, it's been on the same, has it actually, let me ask you, has it been on the same plot of land for the entire 12 years now, or has it moved around?
So we've definitely moved around. We've been on the same plot for about 5-6 years now. But before that, we were kind of bouncing around in various different parts of the forest, kind of cutting it under the numbers that you're allowed to have, like organized camping stuff. And yeah, so like right now we have a pretty solid home, and we're looking forward to the future. They're building up the land pretty well out there, and we have all kinds of new infrastructure surprises and things going on that we're excited for people to experience this year.
Cool. And another question, just like with the experience, you mentioned that building stages and designs was like kind of a passion of yours. How much does it take to really design those stages, and what is that process like?
Oh man, that's a good question. The process is grueling, to say the least, I guess. There's a lot of steps involved in it, and a lot of, I guess, hurdles, to say the least, with making sure everything's fitting within the budget, being safe, and can be permitted, and a whole slew of things like that, as well as easily be taken up and down on load in, load out. So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but the finalized product always makes it worth it for me. And we always have this awesome feel to it when we're out there or anywhere where we're doing, where I'm designing and stuff like. So yeah, it's definitely grueling, but the reward's very great.
Yeah, I love that. Let's stay on the production for a little bit. Can I know that you guys have special production there. Can you talk a little bit about the rest of what goes into actually making it happen with sound and everything?
Yeah, trying to think the best thing to tell you guys. This year we definitely ramped it up a little bit. We're trying to go a little bit bigger on each stage, a little bit more art, a little bit more generalized production on each stage. We added a new stage to do some other stuff. Awesome VJ team coming up this year. We have amazing sound partners that we're working on right now. I think we have a couple of the best sound systems in the state this year, and they're partnering up with us. So we're really excited about that with Sound Life and Dave Pyro's company. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to seeing what everyone's reactions and smiles, and see what everyone experiences this year. So
Nice. And you guys have a ton of partners, helping with the event this year too. What kind of, processes and steps do you, take when considering, who you want to work with?
So essentially, like, coming back to that family vibe is really what we're after. We're about working with any like-minded individual or company that is going to add to our same experience and the vibe, and is all about doing it for the community and everything like that. So generally it's pretty easy finding those kind of people. They kind of gravitate to each other, so it's been a pretty awesome blessing to work with so many awesome partners and stuff, and have some really amazing people helping us out this year, like the More Bass and VR Area 51. We got some cannabis sponsors and all kinds of amazing people working with us this year. I don't know if Andrew or Ashley want to jump on some of those guys as well, discussing some of those people.
Yeah, I mean, well, Don't Trip has been huge with helping as well. They're great. They're our good friends, and they're doing their own thing out there. And it's just nice to have, like, Jay mentioned, like-minded people. We have the same goals. We want to have a good time together and, be responsible. And it's been really fun working with those people that you are genuinely friends with. So we're in a good position.
Yeah, we have a lot of great takeovers this year. Particularly, I'm excited about the drum and bass takeovers on Saturday and Sunday. We got Tactical Audio and Rumble Drum and Bass. Those are going to be really fun. We've always wanted to do a big drum and bass takeover day, and this year we get to multiply it by 2. So I'm pretty pumped for that.
Oh, and the silent disco too. I'm excited about the silent disco.
Sure. We finally took the leap, and we built our own activation. They arrived today. We have our own Pitch-A-Tent silent disco headphones with our emblem on them and everything, and can't wait to unveil that on Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it really seems like you've just taken the whole experience, like, on all aspects, and just really escalated it this year. And it's really cool to see, because obviously, I know just from talking to you guys behind the scenes, but you guys are working so hard. Let's stay on this kind of like behind the scenes aspect here for a minute. You guys do a lot of really setup to make the grounds and the land look really cool as well, and lit up. Like, how, how does that process go? What kind of time and effort, and how much in advance are you guys up there, like setting the grounds?
Oh man, it's quite an ordeal. We definitely go out there for planning weekends. In the past, like over the years, we've really kind of locked it in to have like kind of pretty well-oiled machine at this point for some of those elements. So yeah, it's definitely kind of got a little bit smoother. We kind of like know what we're going to do ahead of time and stuff, so it makes things a little easier. But I mean, I think there's probably a team out there right now kind of working on some stuff, and there's been people out there every weekend just getting ready for our event coming up, and as well as, like I said, just kind of building some more infrastructure on the land to make it more accessible, easy, and just friendly environment all around for all the patrons this year. So yeah, definitely an ordeal on that big of property. I think they have like 80 acres that we work on, plus that's just their property, and the land around it's like like a lot more. So we definitely have a lot of land to work with, and a lot of walking around.
And you guys actually go up there and help clear the pathway, don't you? So the cars have a little bit easier of an entry.
In the past we have, but we've kind of built a team that kind of is kind of like, I guess you would say, the infrastructure team over there that kind of is really working on that stuff outside of us, so we can really focus on the main elements of the party, the fun and production and everything that everyone sees. And sometimes people don't necessarily see those things until it's a problem. So yeah, kind of that's kind of what we want right now. We want it to just be smooth where you're not thinking about it. So I think that we got that pretty down too. So
nice. That land too that you're on, it seems as though you guys really put that little patch of land on the map with Pitch-A-Tent. Like I've seen a couple of other festivals pop up, after you guys, and really it looks like you led the way, to putting that area on the map. Like, does that mean anything to you guys at all, or?
Definitely. I remember years ago, before we found that land, Jay and I were spending weekends going to Flagstaff trying to find a piece of land with beautiful trees that we could throw this party in. And we did that for days and days at a time, just spending hours up there driving around forest land. And then it was perfect timing that Andrew met the owners of Playa Ponderosa, and we were the first party on that land, and it was successful, as you see. And so yeah, it's really cool to be a pioneer of that little area.
Yeah, definitely. The synergy of it was pretty awesome in the beginning, because they were like, hey, Andrew, if you want to tell that story, since it was your story about how you ran into him and how that came to be, is a pretty fun story.
Yeah, I guess it was like a boys trip through California. I ended up like backstage at Cross shooting the shit with production. That happened to be Casey. Ended up like, instead of enjoying the festival, I ended up like running around in a golf cart and sitting in a trailer for the next 4 hours discussing how we were going to plan our music festival together. And like, next thing I know, we're just like up there every weekend with like 20, 30 people at a time, sawing down trees, making roads, figuring out how to make this thing work. Because, when they bought that property the year before, it was raw. They were planning on building a grow up there. There was really no music festival, and they had high aspirations of doing one. And so when we connected, it was like, boom, like the stars aligned. Me and Casey just like, we ran with it, and it worked out really great. We got a couple of good years under our belt. We really helped them figure out how to best utilize that land, for their own events. They're doing now at that property, and they're doing very well, and we're proud of them and very happy for them. So yeah, it's been a really big growing opportunity for both of us to kind of get off grid together and see the infrastructure they build. God, this year alone, like I came back after not being there for 2 years, and during that thunderstorm up north last weekend, I was doing 45 miles an hour down those roads on gravel. Like, yeah. They have taken things to such a level up there. I'm so impressed. All the roads are chipped on property. There's no more mud. Like, it's the road has been paved for all of us, and we're so proud and happy to see where it's gone. Can't wait to see the levels that has come up in the last 2 years. It's just bananas.
Yeah.
Quite literally. And figuratively, you guys are also paving the road, for a lot of other people who are looking up to you guys as well, to, anybody out there that is kind of watching this, like it is possible to, start a passion project from start. And you guys are an inspiration to anybody that really want to follow in your footsteps. So before we sign off here, last couple of things, one, I want to leave the kind of floor open to you guys to kind of fill in the cracks if we left anything out that is really important to you. So I'll kind of open the door here and let you guys kind of have the floor.
Well, yeah, that's a big one. Trying to get the light right here. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to think if we missed anything off that we're really excited about. We just added golf clap this week, so we're really excited about that addition. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I know there's like probably one or two things that we're forgetting that we haven't mentioned here, but ultimately we hit the activities and wellness that we're really amped about. We talked about the production and where we're going this year. We talked about land and infrastructure and comfortability with that. I think one of the things that we haven't really touched on too bad is the weather that has been kind of amazing up there recently. Like we discussed, Andrew was just up there the other weekend, and we're just really excited for perfect weather at night and in the day. Sometimes it comes a little bit of rain in there, but it sprinkles and comes in and comes out, and it just leaves some amazing greenery and like I've never seen out there before, just green and flowers and green trees and grass and everything that we're just like, can't wait to get out there and frolic in and everything again. But I know that we got some games and some game tournaments this year, like SAC, cornhole, and some other fun games like bear pong and things like that one of our friend Neil is going to be heading up. We have some live art going out there, just a whole slew of things that we probably haven't even mentioned yet.
Cool. I love it. And, before we sign off, at Moon Landing, we really love to practice gratitude. And so, I'll leave this open to, each one of you. I'd like to hear from you. But, just tell us one thing that you're grateful for, and it can be about the business, it can be about the event, or it can just be in your personal life. So Ashely, why don't you start with that one?
Oh, that's an easy one because I was finding a way to say this. I'm so grateful for our community. And we would not be anything without the wonderful people that we work with that support us, help us emotionally, monetarily, any way they can. It's just without the community and the Pat fam, there would be no Pitch-A-Tent. And so I'm very grateful for each and every person that takes the time, takes an extra post, shares a story, anything like that. It means a lot. And so I'm very grateful for all of the community.
Awesome.
Definitely, I will second that because we're really big on us being a community festival. We want it to be for the people, by the people, whatever we all agree on together type thing and move forward together. And it's kind of on the same point with what I'm grateful for. Like I mentioned before, I'm just like our team and our community is just amazing. Like I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for all the people. Like the last event that we had, it was just so much work. I'm just tired and like people just if you ever seen that movie Groove, what I'm talking about. But a couple people came up and gave me the nod, and I was just like, oh, that's all it is right there. That just kept me going, and I just that's what fuels me. And like I said, I'm enthralled with how many people and how much they've done, and how much they've helped out. So yeah, definitely grateful for our team and our community.
Yeah, just to reiterate on your comment from earlier, Jay, the team this year has been the strongest I've ever seen it. And I have to just give everybody a round of applause. We've had people have to bow out for emergencies. We've lost people for deaths in the family. We've had a tremendous team step up and fill in holes in the last minute. Claire's helping us with staffing. Kenny's coming in from Colorado. We have people, anybody I haven't mentioned, people just driving in from all over the place and stepping up in the leadership department this year. And it's really touching to see this many people step up in this short amount of time that we have to pull this off. And it's taken every bit out of every one of us to make this work.
Yeah.
And we're very proud of everyone who's been able to step up and help us. And we can't wait to spend the weekend with you, for all you guys that are watching.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out to our buddy Anthony Corvino too. I'm not sure how many people have heard or whatever, but he's our artist coordinator. He's been amazing for us for the last 4 years or so. Tremendous help. He ended up contracting a pretty severe case of COVID this year during the planning process, and is still at the hospital. He's doing better. So we want to thank everyone for all their prayers and wishes there. And but man, he's stellar. He's fighting to work more for us. We're trying to get him just to rest, and he's in there cranking away in the hospital with that. So we want to give a big shout out to him and well wishes to him and Crystal and his girlfriend Crystal. So.
Well, our thoughts and prayers will certainly be with him. Thank you guys all so much for joining us. Really appreciate you guys joining us here for Launchpad. And, make sure that you guys get your tickets, www.pitchatentaz.com. You can use the code Moonlanding, and the event is going to be next week, the 13th through the 16th. Still plenty of time. Check it out. We've got some information all over our socials and the website. So tune in, and hopefully we'll see you in the forest. So signing off for the Launchpad and Moon Landing, I'm Nick Lamoureux, and we'll see you guys next time.